Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Tips Tuesday session. My name is Linda Reed-Enever. I'm an ideas and marketing strategist, and I help you take your ideas to market. And that's what we are going to look at this Tuesday. Well, actually, we're going to look at some organization on this Tips Tuesday session to help you organize those files, that information, and start planning your marketing. And we're talking about digital filing, but why I'm here, I could not resist to show you that both of our planners are here for this year. So this is our marketing planner for 2022, which will help you plan out your marketing throughout the year. And if you want to go through it on my YouTube channel and Facebook channel, I have a little bit of run through on that one. Haven't recorded the run through for the business life planner yet, but those of you who follow me regularly will know it. It is our planner where we break down your tips into goals throughout the year, and we've got some fantastic coloring pages and that in there for this one this year. So I am excited to be here this morning. I'm excited to be talking about digital filing, because when we come to filing our files as business owners, there's a lot of passwords, there's a lot of stuff to remember, and I'm going to talk about digital filing in a number of ways today. And one is obviously filing those files that we have. The other thing is about using tools to help us navigate and find those files, also managing those passwords that we need to have, because as business owners we have many logins along the way. So for those of you who are looking for the planners, first of all, I will pop the shop link into chat so that you can have a look at the planners here. So that is in the chat box ready for you. If you're joining me this morning, please say hi. I'd love to know who you are. I'd love to know what you're doing. I'd love to know where you're at in your digital filing journey as well, because it's nice to know who you are and those things as well. So please feel free to come in and let me know. Okay, so first things first about what we're going to talk about this morning is about digital filing. So you can choose whatever filing storage that you like. We're a big fan of Google Drive here in this office. We use Dropbox, we've used OneDrive in the past, but what we like about Google Drive is the fact that it actually gives us the power of Google search when we're searching our documents. So when we're searching for videos or we're searching for documents, it not only searches the title, it will go and search the body of a document to help us find what we need to find, which, is a bonus when you don't remember what the heck you named something, because I have been there before. I'm like, I wrote something on this. What are the keywords that I might have written? And having Google search and that power of Google search in our digital online storage inside Google Drive has been amazing for us. So we do love that. Now I'm going to talk to you about naming those files very shortly, but it is a really big one about doing that. And then it's about setting up folders and access and negotiations. And there's, some handy tools out there that will help you with Google Drive to maximize that storage and that space that you have within there. But we've got a filing system, and we're setting up our folders. Our filing system is only as good as the information that we put into it. So if we name our file, blog post 1, blog post 2, blog post 3, or we name our images 1, 2, 3, 4, or we've got a code from the photographer and we haven't renamed our images, then the chances of finding them are a little bit harder. Yes, you might have a filing system. You go, okay, I've got professional shots over here, for example, if we're talking about images from photographers. But what if you actually go in that little bit further and you explain what each image is, then when you come to search, it's going to be easier. And also, if you're submitting your headshots or something to a publication, for it to have your name, Linda Reed-Enever sitting on a white couch with red shoes or something like that, makes it easier for them to search. And if they're trying to find that image to put up, they're searching at that point in time. So when you start thinking about naming your files and loading them into your digital filing space, whatever that is that you choose to do, or emailing them to someone else, remember that the naming of the file is really going to help you. Now, we are a big believer in here of putting years on things as well. So we're not particularly images, but on documents. So we might put, 2022, 2021, vice versa, whatever it is that we need to put in so that we can negotiate and find those files really easily. So the first tip about digital filing comes down to your structure. Okay, it comes down to how are you going to name those files, and the little bit of time you spend naming your files will make it easier for you to be able to find them along the track. And then obviously it's breaking up into easy to navigate folders and documents and those sorts of things. And the more you use that, the more clear your head becomes, and hopefully you walk away a little less overwhelmed by the world of digital filing. So naming files is a big one. And as I said, I love Google Drive for the fact that, if we haven't named our files properly, it backs us up with Google search. The next one I wanted to talk to you about today was email. So when you use email, and no matter what email platform you are, there's the filter rules, and use them. Use the filter rules to filter, your most important emails through to your, other ones. Now, Gmail does this really, really well, or G Suite, or Google Workspace, whatever they're calling themselves nowadays. They do this really well because they've got a promotions and a social tab that they already filter content out to. So they filter the content out to those tabs. But you can go step in filter and, filter by clients, filter by updates. If you're one of my students, you might filter by, course updates, and have those emails going into a folder. And they might even bypass the inbox until you're ready to look at them. So, it's all about inbox management strategy. Now, I'm not a big believer in deleting all my emails. I like to have them there for future reference, but I do like to have them filed. So my inbox is clean, but we've got the emails filed out to where they need to be so that we know where they are to be. And, I have a really big folder in there that there are sometimes I look at an email and I can't deal with it. It could be the weekend even. And I move them to a folder called Needs My Attention ASAP. And that is, once I've gone through everything, I come back to that folder and I give that folder really big attention and make sure that I can respond to those emails, especially those ones that need a little bit more time. That I'm not worrying about it, but they are sitting there ready for me when I need to come through that process. So email filters are another big one when it comes to digital filing. File them away so that you've got them for future reference, but they're also not bombarding and overwhelming your head when you get through that process. Now, I know I have a massive amount of passwords to store, and I'm not remembering any passwords in my head. So the next tool we're going to talk about is Lastpass. And what Lastpass does is it encrypts your passwords. It also makes it shareable, and you can have a filing database of passwords that you have there. And you can also see who you've shared them with and have that little bit of security along the way. So for me, I'm not carrying around a password book. And I'm not losing those passwords. I've got biometrics installed on it, so it needs my fingerprint to open it. And we use LastPass in a really good way to being able to manage our passwords. Now, it works on computers, it works on our mobile devices along the way, and it's a really handy thing to be able to use. So LastPass is very good for taking those passwords that you have to hold and putting them somewhere and having them, in your pocket, in your phone, in your desktop browsers, and ready to go. And it's a very handy way, especially if you're working with multiple people, to be able to share your passwords out there with multiple people along the way. The other tool that I wanted to talk to you about today is when you're planning your marketing, or when you're actually planning what you need to do. And that is maybe not so much digital filing, but it's a little bit of digital sorting within your head. And we use a tool, a project manager tool in here called ClickUp. And it manages our digital workflows. It manages our processes and procedures. It's got our checklists in there, and it really helps you navigate and work out what you've got to do next. So it's a bit of a digital filing system inside that space that will work with you. And apologies for the phones going off. It's definitely a Tuesday morning here. But ClickUp is really, really good for managing that file process, knowing what's coming up, knowing what workloads need to be done, being able to communicate with each other. So it's a digital communication filing system that is really handy, and you can set it up project boards, you can set up mind maps, and it's a very handy tool to help you file that digital communication that you're going to have along the way. The other tool that I want to talk to you about is when we set up our marketing, we talk about brand management and being able to set up brand kits and being able to have templates for documents and templates for stuff that you want to come into. Now, Canva has definitely grown in 2021. We've seen Canva bring out, new tools and all those sorts of things. But Canva's brand kit and being able to set up your brand colors, your brand guidelines, have your styles, have everything in place is huge. And it's a great feature of Canva Pro. But then you can roll that brand kit, you can roll that style guides out over documents, you can roll it out, make sure that your text and everything's flowing so that the content you're putting out there is digitally created and filed using your brand kit. So using your fonts, using your terminology, and you create templates and those sorts of things that allow you to be able to do that. So have a look at Canva and maybe setting up a brand kit so that you know what your style guide is going to be and how that is all going to be created. And then once you've actually created your content in Canva, if you've been creating Instagram posts, blog posts, whatever it is that you're creating, graphics you're creating, you want to make the most of them. Okay, and this is where I love using a tool like Reed-Enever, once again, for categorizing my social content so that then I can bring it out and use it in a regular basis, on an ongoing basis from Evergreen. So if I've created a series of tips posts, the last thing I want to do is forget about them. I want to make sure that they're going out again and again and again. And that's where Evergreen works. It's little octopus magic, Reed-Enever works. It's little that's where Reed-Enever works its little octopus arms on the evergreen content and allows you to continue sharing that over and over again. So there are some tools and some tips that we use when it comes to digital filing here at Enever Group. The reason I wanted to share it with you all this morning is because I get it. There is moments in time where we've got way too much tools coming in there. But do make sure that if you're managing passwords somewhere, try and make them secure. Don't put them in an Excel spreadsheet or a Google Sheet or those sorts of things. You want to make sure that they're secure. Make sure that you are storing your passwords and you're using secure passwords. Make sure that you are naming your files in the right way and you're getting the most out of it. I'm going to wrap up this Tips Tuesday session from here. If you want a copy of the Business Life Planner or you want a copy of the Marketing Planner, head to enevergroup.com.au/shop. They are in there, and I look forward to seeing you guys next Tips Tuesday, where we come back and share tips. We've only got a few more of these sessions for the year before I take a break, but I'm looking forward to sharing a few more Tips Tuesday sessions with you along the way. Bye.